Hey guys, it's Miss Peterson, and I'm back to read another story to you. Today we'll be reading a nonfiction text about your brain, your fantastic elastic brain. Stretch it, shape it. This story is by Joanne Deek, PhD, and it is illustrated by Sarah Ackerley. I want you to think to yourself, is this going to be a nonfiction text or a fiction text? So you're going to look for those text features as I'm reading, and I want you to tell me if it's a nonfiction text or a fiction text. Let's see. What does your brain really do? Does it fill the space between your ears? Well, yes, but your brain can do so much more. Your brain helps you think and remember and name what you see and what you hear. It lets you move your body and feel both touch and emotions. Your brain does all the things that make you you. So, what is your brain? Is it a muscle? No. The brain is an organ in your body. It's made up of cells and tissues. The brain controls everything you do, everything you think, everything you feel, and everything you dream. The brain has many parts that do all kinds of different jobs. The cerebrum, prefrontal cortex, amygdala, cerebellum, and hippocampus. Take a look at this picture, guys. What text feature do you notice? Talk to a family member. What text feature do you notice? If you said that this is a diagram, you were absolutely right. I know it's a diagram because I'm looking at a picture of the brain and I'm looking at the different parts of the brain being pointed out. So this is definitely a diagram. The cerebrum is the largest part of your brain. It helps you think and speak. The cerebellum is a small part at the back of the brain that helps your muscles to coordinate your movement and your balance so that you can walk, ride a bike, or play tag. So now that we know that this is definitely a diagram, what type of text do you think that this is? Definitely nonfiction, definitely informational. It's giving me facts and information about the brain. The prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain behind your forehead. It lets you make plans and decisions. The hippocampus is at the center of your brain. It works like a file cabinet to help you store and find memories. The amygdala is a tightly packed group of cells deep within the center of the brain that controls your emotions. Neurons are everywhere in your brain. They are tiny brain cells that make electrical signals to send messages to other cells in your body, telling them what to do. So it sounds like this brain is very, very powerful. When you were born, you were very little. Your brain was small and not so strong. As you get older, your body grows and gets stronger. As part of your body, your brain grows and learns to do new things. And you can make your brain do even more. Your brain grows very fast during the first 10 years of your life. This is the magic decade when you can help your brain grow faster and be more powerful. Just like lifting weights helps your muscles get stronger, learning new things strengthens your brain. You can give your brain a good workout by trying to learn many different things. So you know how in class when Miss Peterson's like, we have to grow our brains today. That means that we're allowing our brains to get stronger. We're feeding our brains more information, which makes us smarter and it makes our brains grow. So now you know why I say it's time to grow our brains. Like elastic bands that stretch when you pull them, even things that are hard at first, or that you don't like to do, or that you don't do very well, get easier when you keep trying. Think about the first time you played soccer. You probably couldn't kick the ball or make many goals, but as you kept going to practice, you learned more about the rules of the game and followed your coach's directions. The muscles in your legs and feet got stronger. Your movements were more coordinated and you could run farther and faster. Learning more and practicing what you learned let you play better and have more fun. Practice really does make perfect, or at least much better. So the more you practice, the more you allow your brain to get used to what you're doing, and then you get better at it. Even when you make a mistake while you're learning something new, you're still training your brain. You remember that mistake and try something else until you get it right. Making mistakes is one of the best ways your brain learns and grows. If you aren't willing to risk being wrong, you won't take the chances that stretch your elastic brain. So it's okay to make mistakes, guys. When we make mistakes, we're teaching our brain something new. And then the next time, our brain is already smarter and we won't make that same mistake again. You can stretch the part of your brain that controls your feelings too. If you are frightened about taking a risk like learning to swim, finding the courage to put your face in the water stretches your amygdala. It will remind you to create new ways to overcome your fear. So you will be braver the next time something scares you, like diving into the water. Learning something new causes the brain to grow more connections among the neurons. With more connections, the neurons can send and receive more messages. These connections help to stretch a part of your brain and make it more elastic so that it can hold more information and ideas. How does the brain stretch and grow? A word that begins with neuro has something to do with the brain. A sculptor molds, shapes, or carves things out of clay or wood or stone. So you shape your brain when you make it bigger by adding new things you know and can do. You are a neurosculptor. Every time that you add more information to your brain and every time you practice things, and even when you make mistakes, you're causing your brain to get stronger and smarter every day. When you learn something new, you're building on what you have already learned. In the same way that the muscle in your body work together when you lift a heavy object or kick a ball, the different parts of your brain work together when you're learning something new. The amygdala makes you want to learn to play the piano. The cerebrum helps you decide to practice. The cerebellum calls up the memory of watching and listening when your piano teacher showed you how to play a new piece of music. Then your cerebellum sends messages through neurons to the muscles in your wrists, hands, and fingers so that you can hit the right notes. The next time you play that piece of music, the parts of your brain and body will know how to work together and you will play the song more easily. The brain that makes you really is an amazing organ. It controls what you think, do, feel, and remember. Your brain is growing very fast during the first 10 years of life, and we know now that you can help it grow. When you try hard to learn something new, connections grow from neurons and attach to other neurons. Then your brain can send messages faster, making part of your brain bigger and stronger. Making mistakes really helps you learn because your brain stretches until you figure out the answer to your problem. You are shaping a more elastic brain when you learn new things that build on what you already know. The more you learn and think about different kinds of things, the more you can learn, know, and enjoy. The harder you try without giving up, the more you will learn. You really can train your brain to be fit and strong and to keep stretching and growing throughout your whole life. The end. I hope you enjoyed this book, but I have a question for you. So because we know that this is an informational text, we know that the author has a point of view or an opinion about what they've written in this book. We know that the author wrote this book about our amazing elastic brain. What is the author's opinion, or what does the author think about our brain? What does the author think about our brain? What does the author think is important when it comes to our brain? That's the question I want to know. Talk to your partner. I said partner. Talk to your parents about what the author's opinion is about brains. What do they think? If you said that the author thinks that brains are absolutely amazing and that the author also thinks that it's important for us to grow and stretch our brains to become better, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what this author is saying. The author is saying that our brain is very important. It's an amazing organ that has to be grown, stretched, and the way that we grow and stretch is by feeding it more information. The author also thinks that it's okay for us to make mistakes. He's saying even when we make a mistake, it's still helping our brain to grow and change. So now you can head on over to Google Classroom, my loves. There should be an assignment waiting for you. Miss Peterson misses you so much. See you guys soon.